In this video, I'm going to talk you through a formula that is going to help you scale your ads profitably in 2025. Meta ads is getting increasingly more difficult than it has been for the last few years. So being able to scale now is not an easy achievement anymore. But I still hop on calls and audit so many ad accounts and talk to so many businesses that aren't applying the correct ways of thinking about scaling their business. There is usually something you could apply that would make it a lot easier for you to free up whatever the bottleneck or the constraint in your business currently is, that then will allow you to scale. And that might go beyond your ads. It might go beyond your ad account in Meta. So that is exactly what I'm going to talk you through in this video. I'm going to show you the funnel visualizer. As you can see on the screen here, this is something that I've built out and that we use to figure out where the potential bottleneck in the business is. And sometimes it's a combination of many different things, but this will allow us to better allocate our time, energy, and resources to free up that constraint and then scale the business. Because that's the beautiful thing about paid ads. As soon as you have this equation working for you, all of the different points in your funnel is optimized. The only thing you need to do is crank up the ad spend, get thousands and thousands of more impressions, and you will grow and scale your business in no time. Now, there is a caveat to that, and that is obviously at a certain point, you will start to see diminishing returns once you scale, but that doesn't mean you can't scale to a point that would be unimaginable for you right now. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Oli, and over the last 6 years, I've been helping multiple different e-commerce businesses all around the world getting profitable results with their Meta ads and taking their business to the next level. And this YouTube channel is simply just where I share the learnings that I have along the way working with my portfolio, and then I share that with you here on YouTube. And the reason I'm doing that is also because quite a few people booking calls and want to work with us because of the value I share here on YouTube. So if you're interested in that as well, there should be a link in the description of this video that you can check out. Now, if you want to see future videos like this and you find value in them, please subscribe. And if you have any questions or anything that's not super clear to you throughout the video, make sure you leave a comment down below and I'll go in and answer you. It's really important that you fully understand this to get the best results from your Meta ads in 2025. So I'm now inside one example ad account just to show you how to apply this. Just looking at some small numbers here for the last 3 days of an account that has been getting the best results. So just as an example, I'm going to go through and show you how we can apply the funnel visualizer to better get an understanding of where the current bottleneck is. Now, the first thing you want to do is take your ad spend and put it into the visualizer. You want it to basically just mirror what your ads manager or your dashboard here is saying. So put in the ad spend, put in the CPM cost, and then you want to put in your outbound click-through rate. Now, if you're not getting these metrics, you can simply click the plus icon here, customize columns, and then you can just search them up. So for the outbound click-through rate, you want to search outbound, it should come up, and this is the one you want to look at, not any of the other ones. And then the CPM, so just search that one up as well if you don't have it and add it in, and then we want to put these numbers into the visualizer, as you can see here. So I've already done it. I also already have the conversion rate for this business and the average order value. So by putting all of these in, you can see that we're getting 3 conversions the last 3 days and a total ROAS of 1.5. And the ROAS dollar amount, 179 USD. Now, what we are going to do next is that we can actually change these metrics up to see how that's going to affect our ROAS in both the ratio, but also the dollar amount. So what I notice immediately as I'm looking at this is that number one, the conversion rate is not that bad, 2.8% for this business, looking at the historic data. It's never really been much higher than that. So that one has definitely not dropped. But looking at the click-through rate, that one looks a little bit suspicious. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hop on in Ads Manager. I'm going to create a new report. And then I'm simply going to look at how that metric has been historically for this ad account. So just deselect campaigns here. Make sure you go into the trend bar and then select CPM. You have to replace one of the metrics and then outbound click-through rate. And now if we look at more historic data, we can see how it's been developing and how it looks now compared to in the past. So as we can see, if we break it down by week-to-week basis, the CPM is definitely going up. So in the beginning of January, it was much lower. We were down at less than 40. USD per 1,000 impressions. Now we are closing in at 55. So the CPM is definitely risen. So that could very well be a big reason for the drop in results. And the outbound click-through rate is actually gotten better. So that's probably not the problem here. As you can see, if we break it down by day to day, the outbound click-through rate is actually getting a lot better as we go. So by looking at the last 30 days, we can see that the CPM is what actually affects these results right now, because we know we have been improving the click-through rate, and that's not the issue. And the results have been better in the past, and the conversion rate is also good. And looking at the average order value as well, we broke that down and it's also been stable. So we now know that it's the CPM that is the problem. So that was one concrete example of how you can use the funnel visualizer. But when you use this yourself, you should consider all of the different things that have impact over the different parts of your funnel. So if it's the click-through rate, well, here there's a lot of things you can do. And if you know that likely this is the issue, the click-through rate is just not good enough, that might mean you need to optimize the creatives. You need to do more creative testing. And that's very, very often the constraint when we audit businesses. We see that the creative side of things are usually not optimized. But next to that, we also very often see that the conversion rate is a problem. And only looking at the historic data for this as benchmarks aren't always the best way to go. Because if you always have had a pretty shitty conversion rate and that one has just been shitty throughout, but the advertising cost is just rising naturally as it always has over the last few years, then at some point your funnel is not going to work anymore. But that doesn't mean that the conversion rate is not a problem. So in this case, what you can basically do is, let's say we get the 2.8 conversion rate up to 3.5. What does that do to our ROAS number? As you can see here, we went from a 1.5 to a 1.9 ROAS. Okay, how likely is it for us to get the conversion rate to 3.5? Okay, can we look at our competitors? Can we do some estimates? Do we have anyone in our network that are in the same industry that we can ask what their conversion rate is from the different platforms they're advertising on? Basically, try to figure out how likely it is we can get the conversion rate to 3.5. Okay. Now the next thing we can look at is the actual offer, right? There's also a lot of things we can do here. And very often the average order value, if you can get that one up, it can fix a lot of funnels, okay? So sometimes the click-through rate is difficult to fix, the conversion rate is difficult to fix, but what we can do on the back end, once we get people to actually open up their wallets to us, is to just make them do it with a higher dollar amount, right? So can we change the pricing? You know, that's something that a lot of businesses don't even consider split testing, different price points. Let's say we increase the price points to 250 instead, okay? Maybe that will get the conversion rate down to 2.5, but now we're still at the 1.9 overall ROAS, okay? So this is how to think about this. And then you can also look at the ad spend, right? Like, are we able to get these metrics at, let's say, 500 ad spend, right? And how will that look in terms of a dollar amount there? So this is essentially how you can use this, but make sure that you put in some thought and think through where you think is the easiest for you to free up the constraint or free up the bottleneck. Is it the click-through rate? Is it the conversion rate? Is it the average order value? And is it the combination of all of them? You shouldn't just look at one. Maybe it could be both the conversion rate and the average order value. Maybe you can have a better sequence on the back end to get people to add more to the cart if you do e-commerce, or maybe you can bundle different things together and add bonuses to make the perceived value higher, as well as also increasing the pricing, right? So that is how to think about it. If you want to scale profitably in 2025, you definitely need to think about your funnel in this way. And if you want to get this visualizer that I made here, you can simply click the link in the description of this video and I'll give you this one. But I also have this one, the ROAS and CPA calculator, which you're definitely going to need to really figure out where your break-even point is, because to understand where to aim and what we can, be happy with in terms of a ROAS number, you definitely need to know your break-even. So this one is a little bit more sophisticated, but you can simply just watch the tutorial. I have a tutorial here, as well as filling in the numbers, and then you will know, the different ROAS targets and CPA targets you can aim for, depending on how radically or how conservatively you want to scale your business. If you have upsells on the back end and your customer lifetime value does increase over time, that is something you can take into account in terms of looking at how much you can spend to acquire customers. So if you just fill in this one as well, you'll have the different ROAS targets and CPA targets, as well as some tutorials here of how you can apply these to the bid strategy on both Meta and also Google Ads. So if you want to get access to both of those, make sure you click the link in the description of the video. And also right now we have a few slots open to work with some more companies. So if you run an e-commerce or info product business and you're looking to scale and work with someone on a performance basis, you can go to my website, strandmedia.co. The link is in the description as well. And you should find a button there where you can apply to work with us. And we will help you scale your business and manage the ads for you. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.